network where we're burning the books alive. I forgot to bring El Brumo out here, but we are on a 3-0 run in the WNBA. I did bet the WNBA yesterday. I went 2-1. However, I did not make a video. I was dog tired yesterday. But nevertheless, let's get right into it. A beautiful 3-game slate. May 21st in the WNBA. So first up, we have, I'm going to go to covers.com. So first up, we have the Dallas Wings taking on, can I see the record? Let me see if I can see the record. All right. So first up, we have the 1-1 Dallas Wings taking on the 1-1 Atlanta Dream. Spread is set at Atlanta -5. The total is set to 168.5. And, obviously Atlanta's heavy favorites on the money line are -220. Which in reverse, you can get the Wings on the money line plus 176. I took Atlanta Dream -3.5. It is it's an alternate spread over on DraftKings. So you go to DraftKings, you go to the game, you click on the game, and then you click on game lines. And then there's like a dial. And you can turn the dial and get your get the line that you want. So I took Atlanta Dream -3.5. Atlanta Dream are 1-1 so far on this season. They lost to Phoenix by 3, and they beat the Sparks by 9. Dallas Wings are without Natasha Howard, without Sabali. Let me see if they're missing anybody else. Yeah, Howard, Sabali, and their draft pick, Jaylen Brown. So, tell me if you know some of these names. Dallas is starting Uzan, Enrique, Maddie Segrist, Soares, and then Freaky T. McCowan. I don't see the firepower. I don't see Dallas having the firepower. So I took Atlanta -3.5. On the alternate spread, I believe it's -150 at DraftKings. Let me double check. I don't want to give you guys any. It's -145 over at DraftKings. So that is my bet in that game. However, I do got hella leans, right? Let's talk about them. So in this game, I definitely like Ryan Howard over 3 threes. Over three three-pointers made. She's cashed this line in her last 5 games, cashed this line in her last 9 out of 10 games versus Dallas. She had 3 and 5 threes in her last 2 games. But what makes me like this line so much is that she's had 7 and 9 3-pointers attempted in her last 2 games. So if she can just shoot 30%, we're money. You know what I'm saying? But I think she'll shoot 40%. It may be a ladder spot. And I also love, I believe that's at -120 odds across the board. I also love her over 19.5 points. For her to register 20 points, -120 odds. FanDuel. Cash this line in the last 4. Cash this line in the last 2 versus Dallas. 29 and 22 field goals attempted in her last 2 games. So she's putting the shots up. She's definitely a volume scorer, a la Enrique, a la, what's our girl name? Kalia Copper. So I'm leaning her for her to go over her points. I might make it an official play. In this game, I'm also leaning Enrique Wnba. I just read you the starting 5. They ain't got nobody. Besides McCowan. So Enrique over 24 points, -120 across the board. She's had 25 and 35 points in her last 2 games. 23 and 28 field goals attempted in her last 2 games. So she's definitely getting the shots up. We just need to get something to fall. Last but not least, my last lean in that game is going to be Freaky T. Tierra McCowan of the Dallas Wings. Over 9.5 rebounds. Excuse the beeping. Fucking Amazon driver decided to reverse all the way up the block. Tierra McCowan, 11, 10, 14, and 16 rebounds in her last 4 games versus Atlanta. Atlanta is allowing the 3rd most rebounds. So I absolutely love the Tierra McCowan over 9.5 rebounds line. However, it is a lean for the simple fact that Her minutes may be shaky. She only played 21 minutes last game. However, she only played 25 minutes the first game. So we just need her to go out there on time and not on bullshit. All right. So in conclusion of the first game, Atlanta hosting Dallas. Oh, it's also Atlanta's home opener. It's their home opener in Atlanta. I expect Boosie to be there, DC Young Fly, 2 Chainz, whoever else, all the who's in Atlanta. I think it's going to be turned up turnout. So in the first game, Dallas at Atlanta, I'm taking Atlanta minus 3.5 on the alternate spread. I'm leaning Ryan Howard over her 3 threes and her 20 points. Also leaning Wnba over her 24 points, as well as McCowan over her 10 rebounds. All right, let's get right into the next game. Next game we have. Next time I do this, I'm going to just have this opened in a couple different tabs. Like I'm going to open this in a new tab, and then I'm going to open this. All right, so next game we have the Phoenix Mercury taking on the Las Vegas Aces in a rematch of the first game of this season. The Las Vegas Aces are favored minus 14.5. You can get that line for minus 112. Total is set at 172.5, and the Aces are heavily favored at minus 1,600 on the money line. You can get Phoenix plus 820 on the money line. I should have took a sprinkle at Phoenix on the money line when it was plus 1,000. All right. So for this game, and this might be my favorite bet today. Definitely one of my favorite bets. I took Phoenix Mercury plus 17.5. So as soon as the line dropped, it dropped at 15.5. So I just clicked it. Like I said, you go on DraftKings, you go to the game, you click on the game, you go to game lines, and there's a little dial where you can just click and move till you get your desired spread. So I took the plus 17.5. Why did I take the plus 17.5? Las Vegas is 0-2 against the spread. Their 2 wins came by 7 and 9 points. Phoenix is 2-0 against the spread. The last game versus Las Vegas is their win by 9 points. So we've seen in 2 games that the Aces have these super duper spreads, 15.5, 17.5, and we see that they're winning games by single digits. They're missing Chelsea Gray right now, which ties into my next play, but they're missing Chelsea Gray right now. And if you listen to the post-game comments, Asia Wilson is saying, like, hey, we're missing Chelsea Gray, and we're not going to be blowing teams out. We're not going to be blowing teams out. It's going to be a closer game. So, you know what I'm saying? So they're not fully healthy, and we're going to see the results and the effects of that. So I took Phoenix. I took Phoenix plus 17.5. That line is not available anymore, but whatever line you can get, I got it at minus 150 on DraftKings. Whatever line you can get to 14.5 to 15.5, I like it for the simple fact that Kalia Copper might go out there and drop another 38 piece or, 25. Diana Taurasi might give you 20, you know what I'm saying? But the Aces are not this big juggernaut that they used to be, and that's my spiel. All right, so I took Phoenix plus 17.5, minus 150 odds over on DraftKings. There's no Chelsea Gray. Somebody needs to run that offense. It has been Jackie Young. So I took Jackie Young over 5.5 assists, minus 130 odds over at DraftKings. It has since moved to 6.5. I like that as well. Why did I take that? Jackie Young, 6 assists in her last game versus Phoenix. 6 and 11 assists in her last 2 games this season. Obviously, I just said there's no Chelsea Gray. Kelsey Plum has been assisting more, but she's pretty much hitting 5 and 5 in both of the games this season. Jackie has taken over the facilitator role with her 6 and 11 assists in the last 2 games. I expect her to keep it rolling. So I took Jackie Young over 6 assists, minus 130 odds over at DraftKings. If you looked at the thumbnail, then you already know what time it is. Look, this right here, Fahrenheit 451, this is a very pro Asia Wilson program. Asia, whatever. All right. Asia, over 23.5 points, minus 115 odds at DraftKings. 30, 36, and 30 points in her last 3 games versus Phoenix. The Aces go as I mean, I don't know how many casuals we have, but the Aces go as Asia goes. All right. So Asia Wilson, their leading scorer, leads them in field goal attempts, the whole nine, the whole shebang. 2-time MVP. What are we talking about here? 30, 36, and 30 points in their last 3 versus Phoenix. So I took Asia over 23.5 points, minus 115 odds over at DraftKings. Phoenix Mercury without Brittany Griner, starting a rookie at center. All right. Also, let's stay right here. Asia Wilson over 11 rebounds, minus 115 odds over at DraftKings. 15, 11, 16, 13, and 10 rebounds in her last 5 games. I thought she had 11 rebounds last game. It might have got stat corrected. But smacking this line in the last 4 out of 5 with highs of 15 and 16. So I took Asia over 11 rebounds, over 10.5 rebounds, minus 115 odds over at DraftKings. All right? Now, let's get into the next game because we have 3 games on the slate. In both of these first games, I have no strong feeling about the total, whether it's going to go either over or under, because both teams in the first 2 matchups are 1-1 to the over and the under. All right, so it could go either way. Let's get into this next game. We have the 0-3 Washington Mystics taking on the 0-2 Los Angeles Sparks. Jesus. The line has came all the way down to Sparks minus 1.5. So it's pretty much a pick 'em. Sparks minus 1.5. You get that at minus 110. Total was set at 158.5. And the money line, you get the Sparks on the money line minus 128. And you get the Mystics on the money line at plus 104. All right. In this one, I do like the over. The Washington Mystics are 2-1 to the over. LA Sparks are 2-0 to the over. Mystics going to be giving up a whole lot of points. So I definitely like that over. It's going to be a lean for now. But my thoughts in this game are on one woman. That woman is Dearica Hamby. Dearica Hamby of the Los Angeles Sparks, over 18.5 points. Minus 114 odds over at FanDuel. Hamby, 20 and 29 points in her last 2 games. Led the team in field goal attempts in the last game. Was second on the team in field goal attempts the first game. Nurse had 16 attempts. She had 15 attempts. 20 and 29 points in the last 2. She's pretty much taken over Nneka Ogwumike's role as the lead dominant feature player on that team. All right. So Hamby should get whatever she wants. Shakira Austin is a solid and a stout defender in the paint of the Washington Mystics. However, she remains on a minute restriction as she returns from a hip injury. So I expect Shakira Austin to play no more than 25 minutes of a 40-minute game. Actually, she's played 20 and 21 minutes in the last 2. So I expect her to play no more than 25. They do have a phenomenal rookie in Aaliyah Edwards off of the bench from UConn, but Hamby is a savvy veteran. She's been in the league like 8 years. She's going to get her buckets if she's ever guarded by Stephanie Dolson or anybody else. She's going to get busy. She might have more pounds on Shakira Austin as well. So I am taking Dearica Hamby over the 18.5 points, and I'm leaning the Los Angeles Sparks on the money line. Mystics are without. Well, they got Shakira Austin on the minutes limit, but Mystics are without one of their main gals, Brittany Sykes, the female Josh Hart. So, I just don't think they have enough. Same reason I took Atlanta over Dallas. I don't think the Mystics have enough firepower. All right. So, in conclusione, I'm taking the Phoenix Mercury taking the Phoenix Mercury plus 17.5 points, minus 150 odds over at DraftKings. That's an alternate spread. I'm leaning heavily on Ryan Howard over 3 threes and her 20 points, as well as Enriquez over her 24 points and McCowan over her 10 rebounds. All right, official looks. Phoenix plus 17.5 on the spread, minus 150 at DraftKings. Asia Wilson over 23.5 points, minus 115 odds at DraftKings. Asia Wilson, Miss MVP, over 11 rebounds, minus 115 odds over at DraftKings. Jackie Young, y'all, of the Las Vegas Aces, over 5.5 assists, minus 130 odds over at DraftKings. De'Erica Hamby of the Los Angeles Sparks, over 18.5 points, minus 114 odds over at FanDuel. Last but not least, the Atlanta Dream plus 3.5, minus 3.5 on the spread, 145 over at DraftKings. And my last lean before I get out of here is going to be Kalia Copper to go over her 21.5 points. You can find it on some books. One last look before I get out of here. I was watching Action Network WNBA show, and they were saying something about Diana Taurasi under her 3.5 assists. I would much rather a 4.5 line, but beggars can be choosers. You can get her minus 3.5 assists at minus 160 odds over on Bet365. You heard that pick first from the people over at Action Network, but I'm just reiterating it for you. Like, comment, and subscribe for your daily sports betting videos and analysis. We are currently stuck at 490 subscribers. Tell your mama, tell a friend, tell a cousin. They ain't even gotta watch it. Just give your boy hit that subscribe button, and let's get to 500. We will be doing a giveaway at 500, but first we got to get there. Like, comment, and subscribe for your daily sports betting videos and analysis. Let's keep burning them. As always, parlays and builders will be over on Twitter. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. Love, peace, and fish grease, man. Appreciate every single one of you that tuned in or will tune in later. I should see you guys again for a little MLB in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. But for now, I bid you farewell. Peace and love, man. Let's get this money, dog.